Yeah, 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 yeah.
Tune in, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, I said the end, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, I don't firmly straight apply. Or when I'm stand up for the stone, I live my life. Been east to rich when east and they still when I make it fast. But the schoolies never bet for me, my always still for stars. I'm the horn. Niggas know they cute too, I keep out the bone. But let's get it, you know my me and miss be up the shown. And when I see a nigga smile, you will stay up front. And if they got me know, then now you know I did the con. You up the icon, I see the fact. They seen I'm busy, but I hate I wake, so what I pack. I keep a searing in the rain, then I smoke as trash. And if I get I'll keep a far. I know some plenty, yeah. Taking trash to the sky from my leasing to living. All the flu on the blend, that resenting me reeling. Hacks kicking out of love, I might never be willing. You shall never know what you, I can never forget. But tune in, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, I 7 in, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, you know by now it's on the line of people. But you never know this name, it's Kanana sequel. Sticking fresh, taking down, so decide the needle. Put down, stay the time to lime like you want the needles. And if you hate when I like the brown, it's like your cam in the ground till they come a noun. But like I'm so fresh up and through the moose confused. And now I know what's up and noon and that was all fuck you. Say you never lose, takes it's not a hurricane. I was go always not a like a bagel, drink your face. But I was thinking to it so when y'all was by the cover. And now I rain, man, I ain't like the make whatever. I say complain, flame mind, you gave me no restriction. This nap so hard, go within and never missing. Convinced that you need love me now, but store and never tripping. It's the enemies it's all, boy, you'll come and get tripping. Tune in, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream. Yeah, I say the name, vibe high, it's GPTV1. Live stream the trends, let the exploration run. Hip hop beats, we're on the scene. Catch the buzz, live your dream.
Yeah, I'm back in the building. This is GPTV1 Monday edition. And I'm excited to be with you all today. I got a lot I'm going to unpack during this live stream. Get my little music going on in here. If you're in the building, click that like button. If you're new here, click that subscribe button and click that notification bell. That way you can stay updated on fresh new content and you will get alerted when I go live. I do this every Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays. And I cover some of the hottest topics out there, some of the biggest headlines out there. And I like to get my thoughts on that. You're more than welcome to jump in the conversation and jump in the comment section. So if you do something like that, your comment will be highlighted here. And I got to give a community shout out to someone I've been chatting with. I got like 4 or 5 different chats going on in the chats on some of the videos. And those conversations have been going on for like 2-3 years strong, like literally. I got like 4 or 5 different conversations going on several videos I made like a few years ago. And it's still going. So I appreciate the people that's listening to all the old stuff. And it really keeps this channel thriving. I just updated the GP store. I got some GPTV1 merch over there. You can go over there and check that out. And if you're feeling generous, you can send a little something to my Cash App. But here goes some of the stories I'm going to be covering here tonight. I'm doing an update on the Mello Buckzz. That's one of those stories that's been really trending. We'll talk a little bit about Noble the Outlaws and this interesting, intriguing story that happened up there in St. Louis where all these juveniles were arrested. And another story I'm going to cover with this woman that's on the FBI most wanted list. You can follow me on social media. I am on X and I am on Threads. The link is definitely in the description, so y'all can check all that stuff out. But before we get to unpacking these stories, I want y'all to check out a public announcement. I'll be right back with y'all, fam. Stay tuned. Welcome to the GP Inner Circle. What up, though, GP fam? I'm excited to announce that the GP membership is now officially active. This is your chance to step up and show your support in a way that truly matters. By joining the Inner Circle, you will unlock exclusive perks tailored just for the most dedicated supporters, because you deserve nothing less. But that's not all. The Super Chat feature is now live, giving you an even greater opportunity to engage with me and the community in real time. Your support fuels my passion and creativity, inspiring me to deliver the kind of fire content that only the GP fam deserves. So why wait? Join the GP membership today and be a part of something special. Let's elevate this community together, because when you thrive, we all thrive. Welcome to the Inner Circle. Your journey starts now. Much love. So yeah, y'all want to get over there and check out that membership. I got some nice perks, and I'm approaching 8,000 subscribers. So I appreciate all the people that's been subscribing. I definitely appreciate my returning viewers. But I want to get to this community shout out. I do not want to forget this guy right here. Let me find it right quick. All right, I want to send a shout out to Candy World USA. Candy World USA. That's a community highlight. I want to thank you for chatting with me on that video right there. So shout out to Candy World. And thank you for the Chaldeans for checking this out. And much love to y'all. Much love to the Chaldeans. I appreciate y'all checking this out. If you're in the building, click that like button. Like I told y'all, I will be covering a lot of stuff here today. And the first story I want to get into is the Mello Buckzz, where 18 casualties happened at her album release party. And this is far too often that we see with these up and coming artists, and all this tragedy be surrounding their situations, and they start to trend, but really be trending for the wrong reasons. And this is definitely one of those situations where this young lady has been coming out with a lot of music, and she's building this buzz and has a following. But then when it's time for the music to take off, some other stuff happened. Then the artist be started to get known for something else besides the actual music. And then, I looked at a little bit of her music. I've seen a lot of podcasters talking about this. So they did a lot more highlighting with her music than I did on my video. But I don't do investigative reporting, so I don't go into all the little details, but the internet investigators, they be all on top of that stuff. They will go into all your situations. That's for sure. So I've seen other podcasters talking about her music video, and she's talking a lot of gangster stuff. She's showing a lot of weapons and guns, and in the gang world, all this stuff is symbolism. Gangs operate off symbolism, and this is some of the stuff she presented in her music videos and in her music. And they also, like I said, the internet guys, they gonna look deep into this stuff. So they did their due diligence, and they immediately gonna go to the internet and see who is beefing on this young lady right here. They also showed footage of the concert she gave that night. She actually drew a nice crowd in there. If that was authentic, but it looked like it was a nice crowd in there. So she's able to gather a crowd in a concert hall. But they found some social media posts from these ops. They were all saying, fuck that album, fuck you, fuck your album, this, that, and the third. So this young lady was well aware of these threats. This young lady was aware of these threats. These guys got on the internet saying, fuck your album, fuck you, fuck that album, this, that, and the third. And those type of threats you have to take serious. You have to take those threats serious, because if you made them unhappy in some type of way, they're going to try to make you unhappy in some type of way. So they're not going to let you celebrate an album coming out when they got those type of thoughts towards you. And it probably wouldn't be a good idea to throw this release party in her hometown. That's like food to them. And you got to think, folks. You got to think. If you're giving events and stuff out there, you got to think about your patrons, the people that's coming out to see you. You know, you got to at least try to make sure these people are safe. You know. So fortunately, they showed footage of this situation. Somebody had a cell phone, and they had a different angle than what the news was showing, and it just showed bodies just falling. You know, that was such a tragedy. But the internet guys, they went and found the videos of these so-called ops. I'm not going far as saying that these were the shooters and this, that, and the third. And by the way, this is why I look for credible information. And this is where I become a professional journalist at. Because I've seen podcasters out there saying they made an arrest, they made an arrest, they made an arrest. But then once I do my research, I don't see no arrests at all. And they also made podcasts saying that there was some retaliation stuff going on. So I always look for credible information from credible news sources. It's just an ethic in journalism. A lot of this stuff we doing on YouTube and internet and all that, that's more like social media journalism. So I at least try to stick to the ethics. I mean, I did go to school for this stuff. But this woman right here, she was under threat. She knew she was under threat. She made a lot of us would consider like ratchet type stuff. Like, I'm not attracted to ratchetness. I'm not attracted to gangster shit. I'm not judging this woman right here. I'm not judging her. But I'm not attracted to ratchetness and gangster shit. I like feminine women. That's just my personal preference. I've always been like that. Always. But this woman presents ratchetness in her music, and you know, females like that stuff. Some of these males, they like that ratchet type rap. You know, and by the way, it's females that's out there running the rap game right now. You turn on the radio, you're hearing females all day. So shouts out to the females. They ruling hip hop right now. They finally getting their time to rule hip hop, at least in the rap world. So I want to see more of y'all come over to our record labels and see y'all produce artists. I would like to see that more from women in hip hop. As far as the rap scene goes, women is running it right now. Like, they on Red Glorilla, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B. She be out there. There's a lot of coverage on her relationship, like that gossip type media, that type of stuff. Her and her relationship, and that people covering a lot of that. So, but there's a lot of females out there, Sexy Red, and this woman right here is on her way up. And I always look at an artist, can you actually draw a crowd? So apparently, this young lady can draw a crowd. She had a nice crowd at this event. But she was aware of these threats. You were aware of these threats. Those guys came on the internet and said, fuck your album release, fuck that, fuck your album, this, that, and the third. It's been reported that she claimed gangs and she came in all in the music, and she does drill music. You know, that drill music, that stuff like gangster rap on steroids. This is GPTVONE. I want to thank y'all for joining me. Talking about this woman, Mello Buckzz, and the incident, the tragedy that went on over there. I've seen some information where it says there was an arrest. I do not see no official report said there was any arrest, but I wanted to bet y'all that they're going to arrest somebody soon, because the internet investigators already pointed out who talking shit to this woman. And they got, these guys are so young too. They look like babies, like literally. But you cannot trust that. You can't trust that. They ain't got no heart. They ain't got no heart. But there was another story that came out that happened in Chicago I'm gonna share my screen on this one. Where they said 44 people were shot over the 4th of July weekend. So there'll be a lot of stuff happening up there in Chicago for sure. So I'm gonna share my screen on this one. Let me share that with y'all. All right, let me expand that. Let's get some sound going on here.
Unfortunately, more violence in the city. So far, at least 4 people have been shot and 6 killed in Chicago this 4th of July weekend. Some neighborhood residents walked the track at Avalon Park, unaware just hours earlier gun violence claimed the life of a teenage girl while wounding a man there.
I'm always shocked at the things that's happening in this area, but again, I'm getting
I think Avalon Park is a hotbed up there in Chicago.
used to it at the same time, but it is heartbreaking.
Just before 11 p.m. Friday night, investigators say gunfire erupted in the park located in the 1200 block of East 83rd Street on the city's south side. Police say 16-year-old Mia Smith died of a bullet wound to the throat, while a 35-year-old man was hit in the leg after an attack.
I think some of those podcasters was trying to intertwine Mello Buckzz story with all this happening right here. But let's listen to some more.
Approached them on foot and opened fire. In the hours to follow, there would be 2 new mass shootings. The first within the city's back of the yards neighborhood, leaving 7 people wounded. It happened near 48th and Justine just after 11 o'clock. That's when witnesses say 2 gunmen walked up to a crowd and started shooting.
Right. And the city of Chicago say that crime is down there. And all of a sudden, all this stuff break out.
4 women injured, range in age from 21 to 27 years old, and were seriously or critically hurt, along with a 21-year-old and a 29-year-old man. A 42-year-old man also remains hospitalized. Another attack on the group happened near the Cook County Criminal Courts building. And
they say Memphis is one of those dangerous cities, but St. Louis is dangerous too.
Investigators say 4 men were sitting in a car.
I was just talking to somebody from St. Louis. They say they ride around St. Louis clutching. They don't trust nobody down there.
Near 27th in California, when another vehicle pulled up and someone inside started shooting. The men, who range in age from 25 to 33 years old, each suffered multiple gunshot wounds. Street pastor and anti-violence activist Dr.
Stuff like this keeps our community down for sure. This what brings us down. Stuff like this would bring us down.
Don Price says he's concerned about what feels like an uptick in gun violence.
Sometimes it's about plain evil, and as long as people have guns, they're going to use them whenever they get angry. It's a tool of convenience.
They wake up angry.
Angry convenience.
ABC 7 is tracking holiday weekend shootings from the morning of Thursday.
Yeah, so that's that story right there. 44 people were shot over the 4th of July weekend up there in the Chi. You know, it's just people just they just don't care. They don't care about themselves. Why should they care about you when they don't care about themselves? You know, a lot of these people, you know, hurt people. That's just simply how I go. Hurt people. And you got people waking up every day hurt in the inner cities. And this stuff happening everywhere. Mass shootings. I've seen some other story about a mass shooting up there in Philly. So these mass shootings happens in several different places. Like people just roll up and start shooting up the whole crowd. And people know this stuff be gang related. They know professional hitmen is not about to go roll up and just shoot up everybody, just shoot up a crowd of people, or even drug dealers may not even do that. But when you have stuff like this has gang ties all over it. And these people, they just don't care, like literally. Like they feel like don't nobody care about them, so why should they care? And a lot of this stuff got to do with systematic. You know, it's systemic. Like they don't really do nothing for the neighborhoods in these cities. Like the resources don't reach these people. They really don't. They really be focusing in on the downtown areas, maybe the outskirts or something like that. But as far as the inner city, the resources don't go into that. You know, so it's like leaving the poor, leading them to be poor. It's like a setup to be poor. They want you with this poor mentality. And unfortunately, That's just so messed up because don't nothing reach the community. So it doesn't surprise me that this stuff is going on. The world is so crazy. So it's hard to just be shocked when certain things happen. But this situation right here with this young lady, that's a shocking situation. And unfortunately, it's always going to surround this woman. So we'll see where her music career goes and all that type of stuff. I also seen footage from one of the females that got shot over there. And she got shot in the mouth, so it knocked her teeth out. Her lips all swollen and all that. So that lady is going to have to get her some dentures or some implants or stuff. Implants, because the bullet just took all her teeth out. Well, at the side of her mouth out. All those teeth gone on one side of her mouth. And her lips is really, really swollen. So, and just the footage of that after it happened, just to see all them bodies laying on the ground like that, man, that is a tragedy. Like literally, like this is the type of world we living in. Is this the type of world we living in? I don't know. Y'all in the building, click that like button. This is GPTVONE Monday edition. I do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Let's move on from this story right here. Let's get some flowers out. Get some flowers out to Young Noble of the Outlaws. He recently passed away, and much of the different news came from the hip hop world, the hip hop circuit. So, Young Noble, member of Tupac's Outlaws rap group, dead at 47. So I remember when the Outlaws came out, they mostly affiliated with Tupac. They probably had some minor type hits as a group themselves, because Tupac, we all know he passed away, got assassinated and all that stuff. We know that. But he was on some pretty big records with Tupac and them. I believe he was the last member that joined the Outlaws. So the Outlaws themselves, they never became like this big rap group on their own. They mostly came off of Tupac's legacy or whatever, which is all cool. It's all cool. He endorsed them, so this guy was on some pretty big records. I didn't see any credible videos I should be showing, highlighting this, so I'll read a little bit of this article. I even shared an article with you all, so y'all know where I'm reading from. And this is coming from the Vibe. The Young Noble is from the Vibe. Young Noble, a key member of Tupac's surviving rap group Outlaws, has passed away at the age of 47. Suicide. I did not know that. Wow. That's just kicking into a whole nother gear right there. Man, life could be tough. The rapper born Rufus Lee Cooper III died on Friday morning, July 4th in Atlanta, where he was reportedly discovered what appears to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound, according to an early report from TMZ. The exact circumstances surrounding his death remain under investigation. Man. So this is suicide, according to this report. Man, that's super sad. He had some stuff going on mentally there. Man, let me go back to this article. Born in California, Young Noble spent part of his early life in New Jersey, where he formed close friendships with future Outlaws members, Yaki, Gaddafi. That's the other guy that got. A matter of fact, and Hussein Fatal, both of those guys passed away, Yaki and Hussein. So 3 of the members are gone. He became the last artist personally recruited by Tupac to join the group, cementing his place in one of hip-hop's most legendary collectives. Noble made his debut on Tupac's 1996 posthumous album, Don Calamity. I can't even pronounce that. The 7-Day Theory, Illuminati. My tongue got kind of twisted there. contributing to 4 songs, including the timeless classic Hail Mary. Yeah, he was on that one. His gritty delivery and loyalty to Pac's message made him a standout presence among the Outlaws. And they carried the torch over the years. I'm not going to read the whole thing here. Well, you can see him right there wearing that Run DMC shirt. That's another one. That's one of the surviving members right there. And I forget the other one's name. He's still living. So only 2 of them still living out of the Outlaws. Of course, Tupac passed away. So there's 4 members that's passed away from this group, the Outlaws. So rest in peace to Young Noble. He's been a contributing factor to hip hop. He carried on the Tupac legacy. He's on big records with Tupac. Well known throughout the hip hop community. Much respect. You get your flowers today, buddy. So shouts out to him. And before we get to my next story, I'm going to take a quick break so I can get something cold to drink. Y'all can grab y'all a snack or something like that. Hold it down, fam. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back with y'all, fam. Thank you for holding it down. Get that sign out the way. And it's another story up there in St. Louis. That is super crazy, man. 45 juveniles were arrested in St. Louis. Altogether, 60 people, but the alarming number is 45 of them were juveniles. And the question is, where is the parents? This is St. Louis's way of saying, hey, we're going to hold these parents accountable, and they should be. One of the things I hate to see out there when I be roaming around in these streets, when I see a group of teenage guys, and they always got this 8, 9, and 10-year-old with them. That's like a bad sign, you know. When you see like a 10-year-old hanging out with a bunch of 15 and 16-year-olds, that's a bad sign, at least in my opinion. Y'all tell me what y'all think. But I want to go to this video and show what they're talking about with this. Locate it. I think this is it. Yeah, for sure. So I'm going to share this right here. Hold on, let me go back. Is that it? Yeah, I'm gonna hold it right there. So let me share this screen. When they talk about holding these parents accountable. Let's go here. So yeah, Bing. Yeah, let me see. Let's play that. I'll get some action here. Like my screen gets stuck here. Let me stop sharing that. Let me get my screen together. Let me refresh that page. Stay tuned, fam. It's coming up. All right, here we go. All right, I'm gonna share my screen again. And this is where they talking about holding these parents accountable. I don't blame them either. Some of these parents need to be held accountable for sure. Let's play this.
Arrest in downtown. Officers say while things were mostly
we go back. Let's play.
Just hours ago, we heard from police following dozens of arrests in downtown. Officers say while things were mostly peaceful for the 4th of July holiday, police took about 60 people into custody, including dozens of juveniles. Their parents were also cited. Some of the charges involved guns, legal fireworks. Police increased patrols holiday weekend after several years of lawlessness downtown.
Juveniles will come down. They'll come down with fireworks in groups. But we're not going to have that anymore. We're going to hold the guardians and the parents accountable to the individuals that are coming down that are being dropped off in large numbers. I'm saying hundreds.
Tonight and tomorrow, police say they will continue.
So the parents going down there and dropping their kids off and just pulling off like groups of them. And they're going to look at that as a gang for sure. They'll give you them gang labels for sure.
To have a strong presence downtown. And chaos erupted in some parts of downtown last night as illegal fireworks lit up more than just the sky. The fire department tells us they responded to hundreds of calls over the last few days. 5 on your side, Travis Cummings caught up with neighbors reflecting on a night they say got out of hand.
Flames erupting from a dumpster by a resident who had a receipt from their apartment on Washington Avenue. Meanwhile, fireworks lit up the sky and the streets. Dozens of people, many of them teens, detained, and parents facing citations for illegal firework activity.
People need to get their kids, period. Get your kids.
While some were part of the problem, others were just here to enjoy the show.
What they say it again. Say that again. Get your kids.
Just here to enjoy the show. Dario Palmer took in the lights under the arch.
It was real nice. That big one. Seen Superman. Was not expecting that. I said, okay, the budget is big this year.
But she didn't stay out too long.
I was out for a bit. You know how St. Louis is, so I don't want to be a victim. I just went home.
St. Louis police say they received 381 calls as it relates to fireworks.
Man. Dangerous everywhere. Dangerous everywhere.
From 5 o'clock on the 4th of July all the way up until 3:30 this morning. In the aftermath, hard to miss.
There was still a lot of leftovers, especially on Tucker and around, and I went for a run this morning as well. There was a lot of in the smaller streets. There was leftovers on the street.
St. Louis trying to get their downtown in order.
Didn't clean yet.
Despite their love for the city, residents like Candera and Yagio Raffaelli says kind of disorder shouldn't be normal.
It's upsetting. It's happening a lot, but it's what it is.
Weekend.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually happening quite often. And I know some people say, you know, you're living downtown, should expect it, accept it, and we would love for it to be a little bit less.
And while police had a stronger presence this year, some say it's time for stronger policy and permanent solutions.
I feel like they need to put a law in place, though. Just our thing, a curfew needs to be a curfew because that stops downtown from having businesses. Like, we got so much potential down here, and we keep losing it because of crime.
Travis Cummings, 5 on your side.
Man, they said them juveniles out of control down there in St. Louis. Man, so they giving the parents citations for that, and I think they should. You know, you drop your kids off down there, you don't know what your kids doing down there. You really don't. And people popping off them fireworks and all of that, they probably not paying attention to people's properties and all of that type of stuff. So they starting to put a curfew in their downtown area. And when you got groups of kids together or groups of anybody, you can be considered a gang, especially if you're doing something illegal. And according to the report, some of them had guns and stuff on them. Guns in teenage hands, that's the wrong recipe right there. So, man, 45 juveniles arrested. St. Louis over the 4th of July weekend. Interesting. And these parents need to be held accountable. Let's just keep it 1,000 here. Keep it 100, keep it 1,000. And it may be hard to keep up with your teenager. Maybe. I want to go to this other story. And they got this female on the FBI most wanted list. You stepping in the building, click that like button, click that subscribe button. I do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Talking about the hottest topics, trending stories, big headlines, current affairs. GP, we look at a lot of stuff. I want y'all to go check out my playlist where I cover the underbelly of the money for the finance game. I got a story I'm going to be dropping tomorrow. But go check that out. I got some new stuff happening over here. And check out my membership. I've been loading a lot of videos on that, so it's going to be great. You can check out the GP store. All this stuff keeps this channel thriving, and it keeps me motivated for sure. But I want to go to this story about this woman who is on the FBI's most wanted list. Her name is Cindy Rodriguez, seen on FBI most wanted list. Let's go to that news conference. I haven't looked into it yet, but this will be the first time I'm so interested in who they're talking about. Let's go there. Cindy Rodriguez. Spread that out.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. We're going to get started here shortly. I just wanted to give everybody sort of the rundown of what's going to go this morning. We're going to have 3 speakers. First is going to be Special Agent in Charge of the FBI Dallas Field Office, Joe Rothrock. After that will be some, limitations on what they can and can't say. And then also afterwards, if you are interested.
All right. I wanted to skip over the little introduction. So let me see where they get started. Let me start up. So that's a picture of that woman right there. That's a close-up. I want to know what it was she did. So let's get it, slide it up some and see what this guy talking about right there.
Good morning. My name is Joe Rothrock, and I'm the Special Agent in Charge of the FBI Dallas Field Office. I'm joined here today by Craig Spencer, the former Chief of Police for Everman and the current City Manager and Emergency Manager Coordinator for the City of Everman. Everman's current Chief of Police, Alps, and Torrance County District Attorney, Bill Sorrells. Also with us here today are Assistant Police Chief James Thompson and investigators associated with this case from the Everman Police Department and the FBI.
Like I said, I want to see what's going on in these other hoods, with these other ethnic groups, what they got going on, these other races.
We are here today to announce the addition of Cindy Rodriguez Singh to the FBI's 10 most wanted list as our 537th fugitive, as well as a $250,000 reward for information leading to her arrest.
That's $250,000 for this woman. What's going on with her?
Cindy is wanted federally for unlawful flight to avoid prosecution, stemming from her capital murder charge in Tarrant County.
Whoa.
She is suspected of murdering her own young son, Noel Alvarez. Cindy's last confirmed sighting was on March 22nd, 2023, as she, her husband, and 6 juvenile children boarded an international flight bound for India. Noel was not with them and did not board that flight. On October 31st, 2023, Cindy was charged with capital murder in Tarrant County. November 2nd, 2023, Cindy was charged federally with unlawful flight to avoid execution, and a federal arrest warrant was issued in the Northern District of Texas. This investigation has been a team effort. Numerous agencies and investigators have been working diligently to locate Noel,
killing her son,
who hasn't been seen since October of 2022. I want to thank the Everman Police Department, Northeast Tarrant County Child Abduction Response Team, the Tarrant County District Attorney's Office, and Texas Rangers for their hard work and dedication. We all have a common goal, and that is finding justice for Noel. Here are some facts about her. Cindy was born in Dallas, Texas in 1985. She is 40 years old, and she is believed to have ties to both India and Mexico. Cindy is approximately 5'1" to 5'3" tall, 120 to 140 pounds, has a medium complexion, tattoos on both her back, both legs, right arm, right hand, and right half. She has brown eyes and brown hair. If you have a tip, please call the FBI Dallas field office at
$250,000 for her head.
972-559-5000 or submit a tip online to tips.fbi.gov.
Okay, that's what she did. So that story right there kept coming across my storyline, and I was getting alerts about this story. But she's wanted for capital murder, and they offering $250,000 for her. That's a lot of cash. The bounty hunter's gonna be on that. That's a lot of money. You can best believe them bounty hunters trying to track that woman down. But anyway, we're ready to wrap this up. It's been a blast, like always. I will be back Wednesday with some hot topics, hot stories. I want to thank y'all for joining me right here at GPTV1. Y'all stay safe out there. This is a dangerous world out there. Very dangerous. Everywhere. Try to mind your own business as much as you can. And you got to walk outside prayed up, like literally. You really do. But I want to thank y'all for joining me. Catch me on Wednesday. You got any hot topics you want me to cover? Or you think you got a story you want me to cover? Or you think I should look at? Let me know. I'll look into it. But again, I got another story I'll be dropping tomorrow, and it's covering the underbelly of the money game. I'm looking at it into all these scandals in the money game. So this is stuff they don't be showing. I want to look into that. But catch me Wednesday. Stay safe out there, fam. Stay blessed.